Hey, Wales, good morning. Happy Sunday. It's March 30th. Let's go over and recap Tesla for tomorrow's trading session. All right, so with that said, let's break down Tesla. So one of the main questions that I keep getting, guys, is that will Tesla bounce? Will it break the invalidation levels and its most recent lows? So let's go over all of that. Now, there's a few things that I want to make sure you guys are aware, right? I do see that Tesla is the most bullish, as well as Apple, out of the Magnificent Seven as of right now. Okay, so we got this low. We've made 5 waves, 1, 2 in blue, 3, 4, 5, finishing off all of a wave 1. And now we're finishing off an ABC correction in red, right? Potential wave 2 for a bounce play, essentially. Okay, now the question is whether or not this bounce is going to sustain and we can reach more highs here into the future, or if this is just a bounce, but then one more flush down, okay, to test sort of these lows before we try again on another bounce, right? This is what we typically call a double correction, where instead of just an ABC coming down, right, if we make a double correction, that's going to be a WX signifying a failed impulse wave coming down for a Y wave, okay? So we don't know yet, guys, right? We don't know, but in my opinion, I do think early, right, Monday, Tuesday, we could possibly get a bounce here. It's pretty technical so far. So let's see if Tesla can bounce to at least maybe to 277, right? That's the level that I want to see. If I take some inverse fibs, let's say we did bottom out right here on the intraday, right? We're looking at 275 or 279 down to 276 as sort of a bounce target, okay, for early next week, okay? Now, this is going to decide whether or not we're going to keep going lower, or we can hold this higher low, break, consolidate, and go higher, okay? So that's sort of the scenarios that I'm looking at early next week. Now, 2 things I always want to keep track of. One is the Mag 7 ETF, guys. The Magnificent 7 ETF comprises of everything from Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Google, right? And it shows sort of the overall trend of those 7 stocks. You can see that we're in a pretty big downtrend. It does look like we put in an ABC correction here, and potentially a triple correction, WXY. X signifying another second failed impulse coming down for a Z wave, guys. All right, so if this is going to happen, Amazon, Meta, Google, right, they're all going to break its lows. And you can project sort of that level out here. So when the Max 7s come down to 44 down to 40, this is when you can start looking at Google and, Amazon and others to maybe time a buy for your long-term portfolio if you wanted to get in, right? But another drop of about, I would say, 5% down to 11% is what you can expect if the Magnificent 7 ETF breaks the recent lows here, okay? So if it does, then I'm assuming Tesla is also going to try to test these lows here, right? It's still going to be above the invalidation level, in my opinion, because of how bullish it's been alongside Apple, right? So we're going to have to see whether or not that green box can hold on the mags, right? Let's say we come down and then we can pump up from here, right? So we'll see whether or not Tesla can hold those lows down there, okay? And we can take the fib retracement levels. And yeah, essentially we'll see maybe 270 or 246 down to 233 to test that level if the max comes down, right? That ETF. You can also take a look. The daily time frame will finally start getting that bullish divergence that we're looking for, right? Where it's going to retest the lows, but it's going to hold a higher low while price makes a lower low. Okay, so that's seller exhaustion that we like to see down at these levels. Okay, another thing that I also want to take a look at, I mean, if we're going to be counting these waves on a smaller time frame, right, you could potentially see a wave 1, 2 coming up. So that bounce on Tesla will occur. 3, 4, 5, right? So you'll start to get bullish divergence not only on the daily time frame, but you'll also get bullish divergence here on the 30-minute time frame as well. Okay, so everything will sort of be confluent within these ranges on the MAG ETF. So that Tesla as well, right, it's probably going to put in 5 waves coming down if it does break its lows, right? Something like this. So very, very interesting times, right? I do expect a bounce early in the week, but the question is that bounce going to hold, or are we going to get one more flush down? It does look like it's going to get one more flush down, guys, right? Inverted scale. This looks pretty bullish to me, right? If you take off the drawings, it's It's trying to break out here, guys, right? It's trying to break out here. So could it be something like this, right? And then higher. So you just got to be careful, right? Just be careful here. As long as Tesla can stay above the invalidation level, right? Dip buys makes sense. You just want to have your stop loss ready at 218, because if not, right, Tesla can, of course, head down to 180, 170. That's sort of the next fib levels that we're looking at, right? But until then, let's see if Tesla can bounce early on this week, and we can worry about maybe later in the week, and I'll update you guys every single day on where it's going to go. Talk to you guys soon.